Alpha, believing the words of his ex-boyfriend, divorced his mute Omega the day when their unborn child died and left him alone in the hospital. The pain of the mute Omega losing his child and being alone with nothing but pain stayed in his heart, not knowing that the next moment he stepped outside the hospital, his world was about to change. Let's find out how he can overcome his pain, gain his voice back, meet the obsessive Alpha, and give birth to his 5 children. Hello, my beautiful heavenly angels. Welcome to BL Heaven Story. I hope you all are doing great. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button for more stories. It helps the channel grow. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy today's story. The rain was pouring so hard that my sobbing didn't even reach my own ears. I was sitting on the hospital bed with both my hands on my belly, saying sorry in my mind to my unborn child. Sorry, my baby, I was not able to protect you. Please forgive your daddy for not protecting you. The whole night passed in grief, losing my child and sitting alone on the hospital bed. The next day in the morning, I didn't even know how I was able to discharge myself from the hospital. After completing the discharge procedure, I dragged myself through the buzzing corridor of the hospital. During this whole time, there was only the grief of losing my child in my heart and in my mind. Still mute and grieving the loss of my unborn child, I exited the hospital door, but the pain and grief didn't leave. Instead, the overwhelming pain of losing my child, being divorced, and exhaustion hit me so hard that I collapsed in the lobby. I had no family, no home, just a broken Omega left to fend for myself in the rain-soaked streets of Aurora City. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in a hospital bed again, and there was a doctor sitting beside me, looking after me. I asked him in sign language, "Doctor, why am I here?" But he didn't understand me and politely asked, "Mister, do you want to ask me something? I don't understand sign language. Why don't I offer you a pen and paper so you can introduce yourself and write what you want to tell me?" I nodded yes. Then he gave me a notepad and his pen to write on. On the page, I wrote, "My name is Noah." For the first time, I hesitated to write my surname, so I only wrote my name and asked him, "Why am I here?" Then I handed him the notepad. In reply, he said, "Hello, Mr. Noah. My name is Alex Nightfall and I am a neurosurgeon. After finishing my late-night shift, I was about to go home, but I found you huddled outside, pale and trembling, and being a doctor, I couldn't ignore a patient. Also, I'm sorry for using my pheromone to calm you." He explained the whole situation to me in a very calm voice. In return, I wrote to him, "Thank you so much, doctor." Then he looked at me like he had found something interesting and said, "First of all, don't call me doctor. You can call me Alex. And after bringing you here against hospital rules, why don't you give me permission to check on you?" At first I found myself dumbfounded after hearing him and thought to myself, how can a man who only just met me want to check on me? But because of his kindness, I frantically started explaining in sign language. Then I stopped myself in the middle and wrote everything down instead. That I had no house to stay in, no money to pay him, about my mutism, and the recent loss of my child. After reading the note, Alex gently held my hand and reassured me. "Mr. Noah, I am sorry about the loss of your child, but how about giving yourself a chance? After hearing about your mutism, I can assure you that you can be cured." But Alex's gentle touch and commanding presence stirred something forbidden in me. A flicker of heat I hadn't felt since Ethan. Alex said gently, "Noah, you don't have to worry about money or a house. You can temporarily stay with me in my penthouse for your recovery." Hearing this, I thought in my mind, how could I trust this Alpha when the last one destroyed me? And this one is a complete stranger to me. But the flicker of hope, the chance to speak again, gave me the strength to trust this Alpha. I nodded yes, not knowing that this Alpha was no ordinary doctor, but the heir to a powerful empire. The next day, when we traveled to the next city to reach Alex's penthouse, I was already exhausted from the journey. His penthouse was enormous, but despite its size, it felt warm. The next morning, after breakfast, Alex started doing checkups on me. Him being so close to me raised my heartbeat, but Alex remained calm. That day, using his neurosurgery expertise, he began diagnosing the psychosomatic roots of my mutism, stemming from childhood trauma. He told me that he would assign me intensive voice therapy. I didn't know that the clinical sessions would start formally, but slowly turn intimate. Despite being busy, Alex guided me through breathing exercises. During the process, our hands would sometimes brush, and our pheromones would mix softly in the air. Like this, a whole month passed. But the pain of losing my child didn't leave me alone. Every night, I dreamed of my unborn baby and cried silently in the dark. One night, after dreaming about my miscarriage, I broke down again. Tears flowed uncontrollably, and the very next second, Alex entered my room, as if he already knew that I would be in pain at this hour. He comforted me gently, releasing his calm pheromones. And at that moment, my first whisper, my first broken sound, came out of my mouth. My child! Hearing my voice, even though it was weak and broken, Alex became delighted. In his excitement, he hugged me tightly, and the whole situation suddenly became awkward. My face turned bright red like a tomato, and heat rushed through my body. But Alex immediately stood up from the bed and left the room, trying to compose himself. As weeks turned into months, I began helping around the penthouse, cooking silent meals that spoke more than words, cleaning and gardening. Slowly, I became completely associated with Alex's life. One evening after dinner, I was sitting on the sofa watching TV when Alex came and sat beside me. First, he didn't say anything. Then he spoke quietly. Noah, before you came here, this was just a penthouse. I didn't even want to come here anymore. It was only a place to visit during vacations or to sleep. But after you came, this place started to feel like a real home. Every day, I want to come back after finishing work and eat the dinner you make. My life became very happy after you came into it. He paused for a moment, then continued. My family is pressuring me to mate for business purposes, but I yearn for a true connection. I want to mate with the person I love. I don't want to dedicate my life to someone I don't know. Hearing him, my heart started beating fast, and my heat cycle, which had been delayed due to depression from losing my child, suddenly flared up. Under the influence of heat, I moved closer to Alex, and our lips slowly met in a passionate kiss. But I suppressed my omega instincts, and Alex restrained himself too, just enough to make the moment torturously passionate. After that kiss, we became emotionally attached to each other. Even a small accidental touch from him made me feel warm. The feelings I had buried for so long began to return. I didn't just want Alex's touch anymore. I wanted him. I wanted to feel his warmth, to hug him, to relive that night's kiss, and to breathe in his pheromones mixing with mine. Seeing Alex's gentle behavior toward me, I assumed that he also had feelings for me. He never rejected or avoided those small accidental touches. One day, while cleaning Alex's study room, I found some old photos. In one photo, Alex was standing beside someone. Just by looking at the figure and silhouette, I instantly realized the other person was an omega. Jealousy surged through me, and the fear of betrayal returned to my heart. The thought struck me, what if Alex betrays me too? Just like Ethan? I questioned myself. How could I be foolish enough to trust another alpha after everything that happened? So I decided to leave Alex's house. That night, in my broken voice, I told him that I didn't want to live there anymore. Alex was shocked when he heard this and immediately tried to argue with me, asking, why don't you want to live here with me? Did I do something you didn't like? Did I make you uncomfortable by kissing you? Seeing him tense and frustrated, and believing that he had betrayed me, I burst into tears. The tears rolled down my cheeks as I spoke in my trembling, broken voice. If you already have someone you like, then why did you help me? Why give me false hope? Why make me fall for you? Hearing this, Alex instantly understood the situation. In a calm voice, he asked, Noah, did you go into the study room today? Did you see the photo there? I nodded, my eyes still filled with tears. He sighed gently. Oh God. It's all a misunderstanding, Noah. I don't have anyone I like now. The person in that photo is my ex-boyfriend, Cyrus. He left me when I needed him most, when I decided to become a neurosurgeon and refused to inherit my family business. He told me he couldn't see a future with me. He looked at me softly. I wanted to tell you about my past after I confessed my feelings for you. You're not just a patient anymore. You have become my everything, the missing piece of my life. Noah, will you become my everything? Hearing his confession, my heart calmed, then began pounding fast. I nodded yes. Seeing my answer, Alex's pheromones flared with happiness. He hugged me tightly and kissed me passionately. He carried me in his arms to the bedroom, and our pheromones filled the air around us. We shared the night together, and during that moment, Alex gently bit my neck and formed a bond with me. In the warmth of his embrace, my first clear word came from my lips. Alex, don't leave me. Stay with me. And he didn't leave my side the whole night. But the next morning, a call from Cyrus warned Alex of some unfinished business he still had to deal with. After that night, through combined therapy and Alex's unwavering support, my mutism finally broke completely in his embrace. The passion, the emotions, and my cries of release echoed as I finally spoke freely again. In the embrace of Alex, I told him that I didn't want to be called Noah anymore. I said that I had gained a new life with him, and I wanted to rename myself Rin to symbolize this rebirth. Hearing my request, Alex immediately completed all the legal procedures to change my name. From that moment on, I gained my new name Rin. Being with Alex and gaining back my voice, I gathered the courage to propose to him. With tears in my eyes and a voice filled with strength, like a declaration, I confessed, Alex, you have given me a new life, my voice, and even the will to live. You've given me everything, now let me give you my forever. Will you marry me, Alex? Will you protect me all your life? Like you always have. With tearful eyes, Alex answered me with warm, passionate kisses. Soon after, he arranged a lavish yet intimate ceremony at Nightfall Manor. Prestigious Omegas arrived surrounded by heat-scented flowers, and Alphas toasted with possessive growls, all blessing our union. But Cyrus, Alex's ex-boyfriend, secretly slipped in a threatening note. He's mine, you'll regret this. I told Alex everything. He reassured me gently, you don't have to worry about anything. I will handle it. And just as he promised, the next day I heard news about Cyrus. Alex told me, you don't have to worry anymore. I've dealt with him. He explained that he had investigated Cyrus and discovered the truth, that in the past, Cyrus had targeted rich men, taken their money, and disappeared. Alex submitted all the evidence to the police, and Cyrus was finally sent to jail. After that, our honeymoon began. A mix of bliss and lingering tension. During that time, Alex fully marked me as his mate, and slowly our happy days began. The next month, I received the news of my pregnancy. Hearing it, Alex was overwhelmed with joy. He hugged me tightly and showered me with countless kisses. But the pregnancy was a little difficult for me this time. As time passed, I began suffering from morning sickness, and the sickness triggered flashbacks of my mutism and memories of my first unborn child. But time passed quickly with Alex. He never left me alone. He helped me with everything. He massaged my legs, helped me walk, prepared food for me, and took care of me every single day. At the hospital, the doctor revealed that I was pregnant with quintuplets. Hearing this, both Alex and I became even happier. Our joy doubled. After 9 months, I gave birth to our quintuplets. The first and second born were girls, and the remaining 3 were boys. We named our first daughter Daisy, and our second daughter Ellie. The boys that followed were Theo, Finn, and finally Leo, our last born. It was a high-risk delivery, and during complications Alex himself had to perform an emergency surgery on me. Little Leo came into our lives as our miracle runt, after giving us all quite a scare. The birth of our children strengthened our family and our bond even more. My nights passed singing lullabies to my little pups, and even though Alex balanced his surgeries and hospital work, he still helped me change diapers and take care of the babies. He didn't just protect our children. He also became even more protective toward me. With Alex and my quintuplets, my life became even more blissful. When our children turned 2 years old, they began showing their alpha and omega traits earlier than other children. Daisy became bossy and protective, while our last one, Leo, grew sensitive and cried easily. Like this, with our children, our lives turned into something full of surprises. Some days we fought, some days we laughed, and every day we shared love. And just like that, our 5-year journey together was completed. Present. When I slammed the door in Ethan's face, when Alex kissed me and our children's cheerful voices surrounded me, I finally realized that I was no longer the old Noah. I am Rin, and I have nothing to do with that past anymore. My world begins with Alex and our children, and it will end with them. The next day, we left Aurora City and returned to Maple City, where we had built our life and our family. But Ethan's shadow still lingered. He followed us all the way to Maple City, unable to let go after seeing how peacefully and happily I lived with Alex and our pups. Ethan began acting like a villain at the edge of our lives. He spread news of our marriage everywhere. He revealed the truth about Silas's evil deeds and declared that Silas was gone from his life forever, that nothing stood between us anymore. Alex was shocked by how quickly rumors about me spread like wildfire. Then one day Ethan came to our house begging. His once confident voice trembled, his eyes empty and desperate. He spoke of regret, guilt, and the years that had slipped away. He said he finally realized what he had thrown away. But this time I didn't break. I didn't tremble. And I didn't cry. I told him firmly, "In the past, you erased me from your life like I meant nothing. I can forgive you for insulting me. I can forgive you for leaving me, but do not ever come looking for me again. In this life, I will only love Alex and our children." With the help of the bodyguards Alex hired, Ethan was escorted away from our gate, his voice fading as he called my name. Days turned into weeks, and then 1 month later Alex told me the news. Ethan had broken completely. His mind, the last thing he still possessed, had collapsed under regret and loneliness. He was admitted into a mental hospital, where he now wandered empty corridors calling a name that would never answer him again. My old name, Noah. I stopped Alex before he could say more. "He has nothing to do with us anymore," I said calmly. "Please, don't tell me anything about him again." Alex looked at my steady expression, the strength in my eyes, and pulled me into a soft embrace. He kissed me gently, as if promising silently that he would always protect the life we had built. That night, Alex came to bed intending to hold me close, but I stopped him first, smiling. Then I kissed him softly and told him, "I'm pregnant." For the first time in years, Alex cried openly, tears of joy spilling down his cheeks. "Thank you," he whispered, voice shaking. "Thank you for coming into my life, Ren. Thank you for giving me this beautiful family." I wiped his tears away, but before we could say anything else, our pups burst into the bedroom, jumping on the bed together. Laughing brightly, they teased, "Father is a crybaby. Daddy, look, Father is a crybaby." And in that warm chaos, laughter, love, and little voices filling the room, I knew this was my forever. As time passed, the house filled with laughter, tiny footsteps, and the playful chaos of our 5 little pups. Life was already overflowing with love. Yet fate had one more miracle waiting for us. One quiet evening, when the maple leaves were turning gold outside our window, I felt a familiar flutter inside me. The doctor confirmed it. We were expecting another child. Alex froze the moment he heard the news. His eyes trembled, then softened, overflowing with tears he didn't try to hide. He gathered me gently into his arms, whispering, "Rin, you've given me more happiness than I ever dreamed I deserved." Months later, under the soft glow of the hospital lights, our 6th baby was born. A small, healthy Omega pup with the gentlest cry and the brightest eyes. Alex held the baby first, his hands shaking, his smile radiant. Our quintuplets surrounded the bed, peeking curiously, already promising to protect their new sibling. We named the baby Aurora, because she arrived like a new dawn, symbolizing healing, peace, and the life we built together. Standing there, wrapped in Alex's warmth, surrounded by our children, I finally understood. My story didn't end in pain. It bloomed into a future filled with love, a family I chose, and a name I earned. I am no longer Noah. I am Rin, husband, father, and someone finally living his own happily ever after. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. It truly helps the channel grow. My beautiful heavenly angels, tell me your thoughts in the comments. Which part did you love the most? And where do you think I can improve? I truly enjoy reading and replying to your comments. They mean the world to me. Let's meet again next time with an even better story. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful time. And as we step into the new year, I wish each one of you happiness, good health, and endless blessings. May your days be filled with love, laughter, and beautiful moments. Happy New Year, my heavenly angels.